Hi, it's me. I'm back. If that's okay. Are we okay with that? Hey everyone, it's me, Kevin. I am back with yet another video. I know it's been a little while, and I feel like I've started the last 10 videos by saying that it's been a little while, but the reality is it's that it's been a little while, so hello again. I'm back for a little bit. Maybe. And today I wanted to spend some time showcasing some of the big changes that have come to Neopets. Most recently, the announcement and release of a brand new Neopets species, the Varwolf. It's a pretty big deal to me. I feel like this is a really big milestone in just the Neopets lore. I think it's been like 10, maybe even 15 years since the last species was released, which I think was the Vandiger. I've still not learned how to pronounce that, and I refuse to learn at this point. But in any case, I just wanted to maybe showcase how you can get one yourself today, showing some customization of it, and really just wanted to celebrate this monumental event in Neopets. On top of that, I wanted to also spend some time in the back half of this video talking about some of the new pet cells that have been released, some of the new NC items, and some of the new features that have been added to the game, as well as what's been kind of teased and what we can anticipate seeing in the future. It's been a long time since I've done just like a normal regular chill gameplay video, so really excited for this one. And yeah, I will see you in a second. All right, here we are in the game. I feel like it's been forever since I've shared this screen with y'all, and I'm sure you can look right here and already see a bunch of things that you may not recognize if you only play the game through watching my videos. But a lot has happened. Y'all have really been missing out. Y'all have really been missing out if you haven't been playing. So let's get right into it. So I think the first place we can start off is looking at the news. It's been a couple days since the Varwolf actually released, but here you go. Here is the news. Let me zoom in for y'all. Meet the Varwolf, a sweet but secretive Neopet that makes its home deep in the darkest parts of the haunted woods. And there he is. Something a little edgy, something a little fun for the girlies. So fun fact, this was actually teased back in 2005 with like the April Fool's joke back then, where they were like, oh, we're releasing 50 new species, and it ended up not being real. But then everyone was like, wait, we love these, so let's make some of them actually real. And that was how the Norbu ended up happening. But honestly, looking back, I don't understand why they would have picked Norbu over the Varwolf. Sorry to the Norbu lovers, but oh, actually looking at this, I can see the hype. I can see the hype. But yeah, honestly, like looking back at some of these designs, I really do think they're pretty cool. You may also recognize that some of these were turned into pets, such as the Duocorn, the Calabat, the Guala, the Patoot, of course, the Slimook or Slimook, the Soreen. I didn't even know the Soreen and Urchel or whatever were originally part of this group. Okay, interesting. Okay. Yeah, some of these designs were really cool, but I can tell that they were like not necessarily as close to like Neopets that we traditionally know them as. So how do you get one of these? Now, Neopets has been doing a lot of work recently to really push premium. They're putting a lot of effort to make premium have a lot of extra features. I actually released a video not that long ago talking about how they have been putting emphasis on premium as well, such as giving goodie bags that give pretty big items. The most recent rotation has the Queen Fiora stamp, and the release of the Varwolf is no exception. The Varwolf is actually set to be released site-wide in July through a site event. But right now, you're able to access this if you have premium, and you're able to do that through the premium species change perk. I don't know why I'm getting this window because I already have premium. But anyways, yeah, if you don't have premium and you don't want to get premium, you're going to have to wait until July to make your own. In addition to that, if you make a Varwolf through premium, you're not able to pound it or trade it. It's basically locked into your account until the mass release is my understanding. So lots of other stuff in this list that I will go through. But for now, I want to start with the Varwolf. Let's go to the premium dropdown. They also added a little dropdown for premium up here, so we can finally see what's going on. And super fun, if you click bankroll over here, my face is in the way, but if you click bankroll over there, you actually get a little bit of a thingy that shows all your areas where you have money. And for me, that's really useful because I use the premium toolbar a lot to keep track of things like, you know, items in my store selling. So this was super cool to me. In any case, if we go to the premium dropdown, you'll see that we have species change. Now, another note, if you already had used your species change before this announcement, they actually gave everyone a refresh of this so that everyone would have it available when the species came out. So yeah, if you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I used it for like a burlap pet 3 months ago, Don't worry, it's there again. Now I need to actually choose which pet to change. And I don't know why my lookup is broken right now. It looks like the site I was using to host my images is broken. So that's super fun. If you watched my most recent video showcasing how I'm gonna become an elite Neopets player, you would have seen that I did make myself a custom Neopets lookup. I can put like a little screenshot of it up here somewhere so that you can see it. In any case, looking at the Neopets here, I think I want to use my perk on, it needs to be a pet that I'm not going to trade away like 5 minutes from now. I'll use it on Craven. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over to Craven. And then when you go over here, you can pick a species. So I'm going to choose the Varwolf all the way at the bottom, right under the Vandiger. I select that species and then I click change species. Are you sure you want to turn Craven from a Noonie into a Varwolf? If you choose to make this change, you won't be able to use this feature for another 365 very long days. Make sure to choose wisely. Y'all, be very grateful that I'm using this perk for this video. Although I don't think I've used this perk in like years, so might as well use it for something. But here we go. Congratulations, you are the proud owner of Craven, the Varwolf. Dress him up, show him off, and enjoy. I don't feed my pets because they all have pet cells on, so they never look sad. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw him into the Neo Lodge. Actually, they should all be in the Neo Lodge. Is he sick? Oh, he's miserable. Work. Let me go fix that, and that should make him be delighted. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But here he is. Let me showcase him on the lookup as well. There he is, looking really cool. Let me go into the actual lookup too. I don't know, y'all. I'm a really big fan of this one. I'm really excited to see what kind of pets colors they released for the Varwolf as well. I feel like, especially like when they start doing pet styles for the Varwolf and like think about these dynamic poses and what they can do with this general aesthetic, I just think some really cool things are going to be on the way. So let's go ahead and do some customization. So I feel like what kind of backgrounds would look best with this guy, with this dude? You can't use wearables on them yet. I imagine it'll probably take 20 years for them to put wearables on them, considering the Vandiger still can't wear like a lot of the wearables out there. It is a little big, and I feel like sometimes it's easier to kind of mask the bigness of a pet by using these like foregrounds, but we'll see. I'm thinking something spooky though. I feel like it has to be spooky. Come on now. Maybe something like this. I also don't like that he's green. I feel like I want maybe like a blue, but well, maybe I should paint him first then. What do the colors look like? Let's go to dress to impress. So there's blue, there's green, red, and yellow. I think I'm gonna go with yellow. It's like kind of gold looking. I like that. Do I have a yellow paintbrush? Surely I have a yellow paintbrush. I do. I have 9 of them. Wow, I'm so rich. Ayo. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. All right, so let's see if I can find a matching thing now. I like this little guy, this little buddy, this little woodland Altachuk companion. Work, as the gamers say. How about something like this? Wait, okay, I think I'm doing something. I'm doing something interesting. I say I'm doing something interesting, but I've done this exact customization like multiple times on other pets before, but we're gonna roll with it because I feel like this looks really good. It's like kind of a werewolf vibe, but ooh, I like how this looks. Oh, he's so cool. There it is. Okay. But yeah, I feel like this is super exciting. Lots of new colors now that are going to be released to kind of celebrate it. And I don't know, I just feel like this also just like, again, it goes back to being a really good sign for Neopets at large, just that they're investing so much more time and resources into developing the site and really growing it. Yeah, I think it's an exciting time to be playing the game. So what else has been going on outside of this? A lot. The first thing I wanted to showcase is some of the new pet styles that have been released. So I can't remember the last time I made a video actually going through the pet styles, but I think the most recent ones that I haven't covered yet are for sure these adoring Valentine styles. So for Valentine's Day, released an entire line of newly colored like plushie variants. So they made like Valentine style of the plushie UC pets, and then they also made like alternate art versions of these Valentine pets as well. So like the adoring Teko and the Valentine Piofin. They also released the Cherub Valentine Shoiru, which was originally a shopkeeper, I believe. Super cool stuff. I thought these looked really cool. It's unfortunately not really my aesthetic, just because I don't really like cutesy that much, but I thought these came out really well. Like, Come on, this is so cool. Yeah, they also released the Valentine Ixie that we have seen from a shopkeeper as well. Parab Valentine Elephant, which was also a shopkeeper. The nostalgic Valentine Aisha, which was also a shopkeeper. I was actually surprised they gave the plushie Grawl a Valentine version. It's just like not very popular, so I'm surprised they even bothered, but hey, I like it. I tried rolling for one, but I did not get one. They re-released the plushies as well along with this. Y'all, this is probably the biggest, like, most awesome news, but I don't know if you could already tell by looking at my lookup when I was like zooming in, but the pets are no longer blurry, or at least they're starting to re-render the images as they re-release them, to re-render them and make them crisp and clean again, because they should always look like this, but if you looked at them on your year's lookup, they would always be super blurry. But now if you compare and contrast them, like if you look at Deputy, who is now beautifully crisp, or Deshna, it's so much cleaner than like Jizu, who's like super blurry here, and it's gonna get fixed when they hit the grays for the re-release again, along with the fairies, Darragans, and a few others. But I just think it's really exciting that they're actually starting to address this like a year and a half down the line. Y'all know I've been complaining about this since the start of Pet Styles being released, so it's awesome that it's actually being addressed now. I know that they probably don't have the resources to do it all at once, so they're doing it by these like waves, but at least it's getting addressed. At least I can stop complaining about it. I will say that the actual NC items as well, like looking at the backgrounds, everything that came out before, I want to say like Halloween of last year, is really blurry in comparison to what's come out more recently. And you can see that kind of exemplified by looking at like Cavino or Steven here or Rico. Like the pet itself looks really crisp and clear, but then the background and like all the NC items around it, since they're older, are really blurry. So, but you know what? It's a start, and I will take it. I will take it. So yeah, as I mentioned, they re-released the plushies with this, so all the plushies are very clean and crisp now. And as you may have seen through my little preview there, the royals were up next after that. They released a bunch of new royal styles, and y'all, I think they did such an amazing job with these. Like, look at this, look at her, come on. And you're gonna see over here as well, but they also released plushie versions of the baby UCs. The Norbus came out incredible. The male Zui, or Weetalk, I don't know how to pronounce it. This is freaking like Disney. Looks so Disney. Then we have the Norbu, the royal girl there. I have the royal boy on my account. Then we have the Lennies. The dynamic posing, like it just really feels so reminiscent of old Neopets, and I feel like they're doing such a great job with the art these days. Like the first alternate artwork they did for Grays back in the beginning, I was not a fan of it. I was so nervous that they would just be ruining the style, but like these more recent iterations of releasing brand new like alternate versions of colors and new colors through the pet styles have really stayed true to that original style, and so I'm really happy with the direction they're going with these. And as I mentioned, they also released plushie versions of all the baby pets. So we see the plushie Zafara and the plushie baby Wearable. A lot of these are modeled after the plushie items that exist in the site already. So for example, the baby Buzz plushie, it's modeled after this, so it looks like this now. And then like the baby Psy Bunny plushie, see, looks like this. So they copied that pose and then made it cuter, because why not yassify it, I guess. Lots of cool stuff going on here, lots of really cute things. And so if you're a girly that likes the baby pets, this is probably totally your vibe. I thought the baby plushie Uni was also super cute. Like, look at her, come on. I myself picked up a plushie baby Quiggle for Rolled, because I mean, look at Rolled. Like it's such a Rolled type look, you know? Come on. It looks a little like he looks so derpy. Now, another thing I wanted to showcase really quickly is the release of the wearable pets. Now, they've already teased some of this through the things like the Black Coyote wearable, but I think this is the first time they've really done like a full release of them. So they released smaller styles to start. So like the little puppy blue, like this will just completely replace your pet's image. Again, this is like something they've really started to play with, especially with the release of the pet styles. You know, we saw it with the Yuzuki series, and we've seen it multiple times now. Recent release of the Talpidat as a wearable here. They're so tiny. Look how tiny he is. I need to get my hands on one of these. The Meepit, Snow Bunny, Harris, Puppy Blue, the Ona, and the Royal Rock. But then today they actually released a giant version of them. So now they actually look like normal sized Neopets if you wanted to get something that was more normal sized. I don't know why they picked the mutant Meowcloths instead of like the normal ones. People would have gone crazy for those. So I feel like they should have done the normal one, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy. If you are around and playing and this is something that interests you, definitely recommend picking up some capsules and hopefully trying your luck to get them. If you're only trying to get like one or two of these, my recommendation is always to just offer up a custom to people. It's almost always going to be more like prudent to go after these through a trade versus trying to roll for them. So Just my 2 cents there. On that same note, if you are thinking about charging or buying an NC, they also changed up the NC structure so that if you buy NC through the site, not only do you get a discount, but you also get extra items. So you get some capsules that get some really cool items, as well as additional gift boxes. So I know a lot of folks have been specifically anchoring on using the NC cards. I think they're like primarily sourced from like Brazil, and they tended to be a lot cheaper, and they came with a ton of gift boxes. So everyone was really anchoring on them, but they've done a lot of changes to change the way that they are selling for or loaded up through them. I don't know all the technical details, but what I'm hearing is that it's no longer really worth it to go that route unless you're really specifically looking for gift boxes. But from my experience, it's worked better to just go this route and trade away the capsules I get for Black Friday gift boxes. The Black Friday gift box capsules, that is what I meant. It adds up to be about the same amount, if not more, than what you would get with the NC cards. I don't know how long that will last for, but for the time being, that's worked for me. They also changed up the quest log. I don't think I showcased it last time, but back in the day, so like not that long ago, if you just left your quest log and didn't do any quests, your weekly reward would basically change. And if the item was something that you didn't want, you would just let it continuously re-roll by just not doing your quests or until you landed on something you wanted. I thought this was always a feature that was intended, and everyone else kind of got used to it being a feature that was intended. Like quest log had been out for like a year at this point, and they didn't address it or say anything about it. So I think everyone was just like, all right, that's the norm. But eventually they came back and said like, hey, this was actually an exploit. Like you guys shouldn't be doing this. And we went and fixed this. A lot of people got really mad about it. So then TNT was like, oh, okay. So they went back to the drawing board and added a different feature called rerolls. What the reroll is that it adds up starting from like 10,000 Neopoints, and it doubles every time you reroll, all the way up to a maximum of 1 million Neopoints. Every time you re-roll it, it re-rolls into the prize pool and it gives you a different item that you could potentially get through using your weekly rewards. It adds up really fast. As you can see, I've hit my 1 million and I'm still on this like crappy food item that's worth like 100K. And at this point, it's not really worth it for me to re-roll further. So I'm just gonna work through my weekly rewards because the cost of it does reset after you got your weekly reward. So it'll go back to 10,000 when I pick up the Doggle Fox cone here. And yeah, as you can see at the top here, they've also started to release things called limited quests. They're also trying to really push things like premium, and that if you get premium, you get like extra items and you have a chance at getting a super attack P, but I think it's like only 5 people that are gonna get it. So that's kind of wild. They also recently released a Monopoly set. And basically if you're one of the people that were able to pre-order it, you would get this avatar, a stamp, and then some extra items. And it sold out really fast. They only had 2,000 set up to be sold at all. And I think they were expecting that people wouldn't buy it. Now here's the tea. Here's the real tea. If you have things like a stamp and an avatar in there, it does not matter what you're selling. People are gonna buy that shit up. I don't think they realize that. So, or maybe they realize it now, but yeah, people are mad about this because it sold out way faster than everyone thought it would. And now everyone's like, oh, so like now there's like a stamp and an avatar that is just completely locked behind only the 2,000 people that could afford to buy this. And let me tell you, like I managed to pre-order one because I'm in the US and I was able to afford it and all these like things that really put me in a like favorable position. I have a friend in Canada where the shipping was like $150 just to like ship it. And then there were people like internationally that the shipping was like $400 or something. Like that's just crazy. Like they never had a shot. And these are like, it's like a stamp, an avatar. Like these are competitive areas of the site. I don't know, y'all. It's wild. It's bananas. And like kind of on that note, they also have a stamp and avatar locked behind the Fairy Fragments mobile game. As a gamer of avatars myself, unfortunately that meant that I had to download the game and play it and get to level 700. It took so long and I never want to play that game again, but I just know at this point, TNT has learned that if they put an avatar or a stamp into anything they want to push, the gamers will play it, even if it's asinine. And I can't do it again. And if they put an avatar that's at like level 1000, I might lose it. I might lose my marbles, and I can't do it. I can't do it. I need them to stop doing this, please. But anyways, that's that. They've also added a feature where if you have premium, they're reintroducing some of the older opponents that were in prior events. So for example, Kaya, I don't remember specifically which event she was from, but she's like a Battledome opponent from then. And they're planning to rotate these. So like, we'll probably see some other really old opponents such as Benny the Blade from like Curse of Morocco or whatever and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of cool. And they'll each come with their own unique prize pool. So that's another thing that'll make them a little exciting. They also literally today added a brand new album page where you can get a stamp from one of the opponents that were added to the Battledome for premium members, the Hulking Wraith, which will give you a stamp or album item called the Barely Legible Business Card. I don't know. I don't love when things like avatars and stamps are locked behind a paywall. Avatars in particular, it's kind of weird to me. I'll buy into it because I'm a sucker for avatars, but I don't know, it feels kind of weird to me. Just because like I'm so used to avatars in particular being such a competitive, like gameplay oriented achievement. What do you all think about that? Another really cool thing was that they released another kind of perk for being a premium member where you get an extra Labre Zap, and it stacks with the Labre cookies. So right now my Labre Fortune cookie gives me 1 extra zap. My premium perk gives me another zap, and then I have my normal zap, so I get 3 zaps a day. So that's been pretty fun. I think that's like a very low stakes kind of reward for being a premium member. I feel like everyone just kind of zaps their pet and doesn't really think much about it these days. They released a set recently that put a lot of the Battledome items as wearables. So for example, the Sleep Ray handheld, your pet can actually hold the Sleep Ray gun, or the Super Attack P trinket. Like you have a little Super Attack P friend that like flies around you, or like the Shadow Armor, you can actually have your pet wearing it now. And Shadow Armor is one of my favorite items in the game. If you did not see my Elite Gamer video, that is something I talked about there. New dye works that have been released, big fan of those. And yeah, I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot going on in the game that's been making it pretty fun to just keep up with it a little bit at a time. I also never knew that Tales of Decardia, like if you play it for realsies, there's a number of big items that you can get through it, like the Valentine Girl Uzuki. That's a $10 million NP item, and you can get it through the app. Maybe I need to play it, but I shouldn't say that because then they're gonna lock an avatar behind it, and then I'm gonna have to play it, and I'll have no choice. So maybe I should not be saying that. Oh my god, y'all! I hated fairy fragments so much. It was so painful. I didn't spend $1 on it, but if there was a way I could just toss $10 at it just to get the avatar, I would have done it. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, that's kind of been my Neopets journey thus far. I think that is going to be all from me today. A bit of a short one, but wanted to make sure that I had a chance to catch up with y'all, especially with these big changes that have come into the game. If you have not seen my most recent video around my journey to becoming an elite Neopets player, please do check it out. I feel like it's pretty interesting. It gives you a really good understanding of how people fully invest themselves into Neopets if you're really trying to better understand why people play it so much and how people play it so much. So yeah, not to plug myself too much, but you know. So that is going to be all from me. Thank you all for watching. I hope you are all staying safe, eating a lot of food, drinking a lot of water, and I will see you all for the next one. Bye.